What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet, SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's video, we are continuing onward with the Warworld Saga and Philip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics, issue number 1046. But before we get into the world of Warworld and DC and everything Superman related, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way, you guys never miss out on anything that's happening on this majestic and lovely channel. And because we've managed to cross over 1,000 subs, let's raise the bar and go a bit crazy, Super Saiyan if you will, as we try to get 200 more subs before the end of 2022. Thus, without further ado, let's dive into the world of Action Comics, issue number 1046. Alrighty folks, our story picks up exactly where the last issue left off, with Superman and his Phalosian allies reaching the heart of the necropolis to fulfill the prophecy that Bayesh, the Phalosian storyteller, had told Man of Steel about, which entails that of defeating the immortal Ulgrin, the first and greatest of the old gods. Now, because they wanted to protect everyone from a reality from his madness, the old gods split Ulgrin's essence into 7 god aspects that were spread throughout the multiverse. Thus, the fire of Ulgrin was hidden at the center of a constantly shifting city known as the Necropolis, which became the core of Warworld. Now, the disclaimer warning that came with the prophecy was that if the god aspects of Ulgrin are found and joined by the one who is worthy, he will be reborn as the hero that he was meant to be. However, if they are found by the one who is unworthy, the mighty Ulgrin will return in all his wrath and fury to send all the creation back to the darkness from which it was born. So yeah, some pretty spooky stuff. Therefore, with Superman and his group opening the gates to the temple, that's where Superman finds Bayesh, who reveals himself to be the guardian that was created by the old gods to protect the fire of Ulgrin from the unworthy who would follow in Ulgrin's path of madness, or as a trial for one who would redeem Ulgrin to prove himself worthy. And that's when he metamorphoses into a gigantic worm-like mammoth of a monster that challenges the Superman of Earth to step forward and prove himself. And so as the Guardian attacks with all his might, Superman and his allies fight back on the bridge of Khazad-dûm. And no, it's a totally different bridge. And from there we get some narration from Clark, where he's saying that the writing on the walls of the necropolis say a lot about the gods of the first world. But even though they've been gone for a long time, they seem to know that Superman would be coming for the fire of Ulgrin. And so wondering if any of them are still out there or listening to him, Superman asks for their help because he and his friends could really use a hand in this war. Now, with Krilla trying to distract the creature, the Guardian clutches him in between his vicious fangs and drags him away. However, Superman manages to latch onto it and saves his severely injured ally right from the monster's deadly maw. Much to his dismay, Krilla who calls Kal-El insane for risking the objective of claiming the fire of Ulgrin to save his life. But Clark is not one to let friends die. And as the Guardian rams them into the bridge with a full force to get them off its head, Superman and Krilla manage to jump outside the gates of the temple. However, with the only pathway to the god aspect destroyed, Krilla thinks Kal-El is a fool and argues that Superman should have just left him there to die. But Clark is too confident that he'll find a way across, reminding his ally that he is needed to survive for what will come next because if Superman doesn't make it back, Krilla is the only one that the Phalosians will look up to and trust to lead. However, Krilla shuts that down since he's certain that Clark will return with the fire of Ulgrin because he's the only one who can. Now, with Superman leaving the injured Krilla and the Phalosian children behind, instructing them to keep out of the monster's reach and patch Krilla up to the best of their ability, the Man of Steel picks up his sword and shield, and like a badass mofo, he dives up top the floating debris of the bridge to make his way across to the temple through hardcore parkour like Rita, while evading the Guardian's attacks. And so landing at the steps of the Great Temple, Superman encounters a spirit guide who surprises he an unblooded sword. But Clark remarks that he's unlike the others who came before him, for he's not a warrior who's willing to sacrifice his soldiers, companions, and mates, and despite the unbloodied sword being somewhat of a turnoff, or, for better usage, somewhat ill-advised, Clark refuses to be shut off by the spirit. However, the spirit warns him that he'll die down here as it guides Superman through the halls of the temples to a magic-imbued Kryptonian puzzle box called Koratari. That's a weird word. I don't know why it's weird for me, but it's weird. Asking a riddle that if he can solve through the puzzle, it will lead him to the fire of Ulgrin. Now at that moment, Superman proves that he has the brains to back up all of the bronze and manages to answer the riddle to solve the puzzle, which opens the high gates to the final trial of Ulgrin, and inside, Superman finds a colossal-sized knight awaiting his arrival, sort of like from the Northman, which was a great movie that no one saw. Weird, for this is a mere shade of the mighty Ulgrin, the first and the greatest of the old gods, but yet powerful enough to protect his divine spark. And so in the fierce battle, Superman barely evades the knight's attacks long enough to find the chink in its armor, and he manages to strike its weakness. But in a moment of madness, the knight refuses to face his inevitable defeat, and to protect the fire of Ulgrin, the knight raises its fist for a destructive blow to destroy the spirit guide. However, Superman risks his life to save the child, but finds that the fist never came down, and he realizes that the spirit is actually controlling the knight, because this was the final trial of Ulgrin, to prove Superman's worthiness by seeing if he's willing to give up his life for an unliving child of graven light and memory. However, Superman remarks that she doesn't seem unliving to him. Aw, that's cute. With that, the spirit finds Superman of Earth worthy to be the soul bearer of Ulgrin, and presents the fire of Ulgrin in the form of a dagger, instructing Clark to take it into his flesh and be stronger than ever he was before, and truly become a god in the form of purpose, but warns him to guard it against those that will try to take it from him, as well as against the madness that consumed Ulgrin. Thus, with the Man of Steel making his way back to Krillix and the Philosian children, Clark knows that he's almost home, because this could truly be his last day on Warworld, since there's only one more battle left to fight. But that's where Krillix threatens Superman to give up the fire of Ulgrin. And yes, folks, we are getting ourselves a WTF moment, because it's to Clark's shock that Krillix reveals himself to be the mysterious cloaked individual, the one who basically started everything, the puppeteer, if you will. However, with Kal-El asking for the reason for his betrayal, that's when Mongul grows impatient and lets Superman know that his revolution is dead, before threatening his adversary to hand over the fire of Ulgrin, or Mongul will kill the Philosian children right before Superman's eyes. And that, folks, was the end of Action Comics, issue number 1046. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. Once more, Philip Kennedy Johnson nails another issue of Action Comics. Now, I gotta be honest, I've been reaching my interest when it comes to Superman being on Warworld, and maybe it's because, I'm all sanded out from Book of Boba Fett and the Obi-Wan show, but hot damn, does PKJ know how to anticipate what an audience is thinking. He clearly has a perfect timing and great skill when it comes to pacing. And what I also like is that he's not milking his tenure on Warworld just because. Instead, he's telling a story, and he's giving the characters arcs and agency. He's providing all of them with choice. And again, this story works because the message of Superman is still intact. This isn't the Man of Steel, Zack Snyder Superman, or the weird emo version of the New 52 version. This is Superman, the one who we all should aspire to be. Basically, Superman is a friend, and that's exactly why this issue and others before it work. Superman is being Superman. He's helping Warworld, whereas most people just wouldn't. Also, when it comes to that ending, Krillix, man, what an asshole. I can't believe that's the guy who has been advising Mongul this entire time. I honestly was not expecting that. So yeah, definitely intrigued to see how that, plays out. But overall, I enjoyed this issue. I'm loving the characters, but there's a part of me that's glad that we're about to, depart from Warworld. Not to say any of this was terrible or anything like that, but I think it's time to have Superman return back to Earth. And with PKJ still being on the book since, I asked him on Twitter, I wonder what his plans will be. Will the next villain character study be someone like Brainiac or like Toyman? I don't know. I'm hyped though. But yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff. And if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button. And also hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload. And so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for Action Comics issue number 1047? Hot damn, that's a big number. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. A giggity goo.